now you can see it. So this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you might have to do a little bit extra to get it to look right. So as you can see down here on the unwrap, what I already have is I have fill holes correct aspect, angle base. But anyways, so I would just keep these two on right here. So I'm going to come over here to the right. I'm going to press A to select all, G, and I'm going to press X and I'm going to move it over a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate. So R, and I'm going to rotate this way. Okay. Hold shift to try to get it as even as possible, right? So as you can see, it's kind of coming off a little bit. Okay. So I don't think that this is exactly in the middle anyways, which it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press G and then X, and I'm going to bring it more towards the middle, like that. So this edge right here is the middle, right? Definitely the middle right here. So I'm just going to try to line up as best as possible with that. If you're trying to grab this, but it's kind of messing you up, again, you can turn off in the UV constrain to image balance if you're just kind of like adjusting, right? You're just trying to get everything right. So you can turn that off for now, or keep it off depending on what you're trying to do, what your goal is in here. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take it off, and I'm gonna try to align this better. So I'm gonna go with it right there. That looks good enough for me. Okay, so now since this looks good enough for me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to scale this down, and just fit it on the cup better. So S, scale it down, G, Y, bring it down. So I can still fit the edges. Scale, bring it up. I just want the image to fit perfectly onto the faces, right? That's what I'm trying to do here. GY, GY, actually no. I'm gonna GY myself a little bit more. I'm gonna scale a little bit. Okay, so that looks good enough for me. Okay, and now your cup is almost complete. There's some problems down here at the bottom and some problems up here at the top, but that's okay. Okay, so these parts are off. So what we can do to solve that problem is there's probably just a modifier still on it, right? Subdivision, and we don't really need, right? We don't really need a subdivision modifier for what we're doing here. So we can just get rid of that. Cool? Okay, now it looks great already anyways. So that looks really nice. Let's see without. So that's looking really good already. The top part's good. We're just gonna have to fix the lighting. The bottom looks good. Okay, so that's cool. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on the back, right? So in order to do that, we're gonna press A. And again, if you still needed to adjust this, then go ahead and adjust this however you want. Like sometimes you might even need to align, like auto align, or you might want to straighten on the Y right here, or you might want to straighten on the Y right here. And you might want to scale this out on the bottom to make it more even all the way across, like a square, right? So this is something that you can do over here to make it look better on the cup, right? So that's cool. And even if you wanted to, what you could do is you can scale it out in certain parts, more, or scale it out in certain parts less. Kind of just depends on how you want it, right? So, I mean, that looks good to me. I mean, I like that. I like the way that that looks, but I kind of want to go with the other way that I already had it set before. Right? Because it's all just proportional. I mean, this looks good, and the other way didn't look so bad either. It just kind of depends on what you want. What are you trying to do? Um, so, I mean, I like mine like this. I think this looks cool. But if you want to do it the other way, then you can, you know. But anyways, so now how to get it onto the back. So what we're gonna do is we're going to press A, and we're going to actually press Shift D to duplicate. Okay, so we got the duplicate now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press P and then separate by and we're gonna separate by selection. So the other duplicate is going to be the 8 right here, right? Circle 8. So anyways, now what we need to do is tab back into object mode and then click off, and then we need to select the 7 just to see where it's at. Okay, so these are all the same, right? These are going to be all the same. So what we can do is we can actually make sure you're on circle 8. We can actually rotate on the Z 180, right? So click that, press 180, enter it in. So anyways, like I said, just make sure that you have the subdivision off of these. So you can turn this off, this one too, and then it'll be fine. And now that this is 180 and this one's on there perfectly, what we actually can do is we can start bringing them in a little bit. Bring them in to where it doesn't affect the face, like what you're seeing, but to where it covers this, right? So G, Y, and then hold shift and just bring it in as much as possible. So you notice that it starts messing it up. So G, Y, I'm going to bring this in a little bit, like halfway. And then what I'm going to do is check. It looks good. Okay, cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Select it, press G, then Y, and then I'm going to bring it in a little bit. Maybe meet it halfway right here. Boom. Maybe a little bit more. Oops. Maybe a little bit more, tiny bit more. Nope. A little tiny bit more. Okay. Tiny bit more over here. Okay. What you could do is you don't even have to like move this up like a whole bunch, but you can do like a 1.42, and then same for this one, right? You can do like a 1.42 instead. And then now you're going to pop off a little bit, so that way you give yourself enough room to kind of bring these in to bridge that little gap right there, right? So select this object, well, this side, G, and then Y, bring it in a little bit. Okay, that bridges the gap, and accommodate that. Like if you want to just match the sides, G, Y, and just bring it in a little bit. And now it looks pretty good, right? So there's no gap and it looks like it belongs there. Okay, so now you can see that there's like these little ridges. So what you can do to correct that is you can select like this side. Like I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little ridge right here. But anyways, for like these ones right here, we'll select this. We're going to add a modifier back. We're going to do subdivision surface modifier. And we're going to go to simple. So over here. and knock this down to 1. So keep these on 1. You start going higher, you're gonna start. I mean, if you like the style of this cup, then you can keep it. But I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just not like, I just don't really want. That wasn't the idea that I had in mind to for creating this cup. So I'm gonna smooth this down to 1, and now as you can see, those little ridges are gone. So same thing with this one, right? Because it's the same exact, just flipped around. So we're gonna come over here to modifiers, modifier properties. We're gonna add a modifier. We're gonna add in a subdivision surface, and we're gonna go to simple, and we're gonna bring this down to 1. Keep these on 1, and there you go. So now that looks good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to parent these to the main circle, right? So circle 8 and 7, which are these, to this circle. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to click this one, then this one, and then the last one towards the center. And you will know if you click the right thing, the right circle, if you're able to press G and move it around, and then right click to release everything back to where it was. Because that's what you've parented everything to before, and that's what you're going to parent these two circles to. So anyways, after you do that, you're going to right click and you're going to come down to parent and you're going to go object. And now when you select this circle, you can move it around. Bam. And all of these circles are actually within this circle. They're just parented to this one. So there you go. So now you can kind of look around, check it out, see if you like it. One thing I've noticed right off the bat is these seams right here. I've noticed these seams. Okay, so there's still a seam here, right? And we don't want the seam. So the way that we fix that is we're going to select this side and we're going to select this side. And we are going to press Control J to join them. Okay, now the seam's still there, but that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to tab into edit mode, and we are going to zoom in to where the seam is. Oops. Okay. And we're going to actually select edges up here on edit mode. And we're going to shift click this and shift click this, but there's two sides. Both have the same problem, so we're going to zoom in here, shift click this side, shift click this side. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to merge by distance. So we're going to select this, and we're going to come down here to the merge by distance, and we're going to move this up 1. Okay, and now they're gone, so now we can click off, and now it's smooth. We can tab out and we can see that it's smooth. But one thing is it's still kind of it's not like completely smooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to add back the subdivision surface modifier. But we're going to go to simple and we're going to bring it down to 1. But if you did like the way that it looked before, you know, 2, 3, 2 or 3, then by all means go ahead. But I'm going to keep it on 1 because I like how smooth it is on 1. I want it to just be smooth. Another thing is, if you want to just avoid that, and you're not going to use like a logo with a background or some image with a background or whatever, if it's going to have a transparent background, then you won't even need to worry about this. You can just put the logo on wherever you want, however you're going to do it, and then you can change the color of the object itself to whatever you want down here in material properties, and you can create a new material and then make it whatever color you want it to be. But for this way, with like the exact logo and the exact color and you just everything coming from the image itself, this is how you would do that. So anyways, that is done. So I I'm going to go ahead and keep that like that. I'm not going to even apply modifiers or anything like that, just in case I might want to go back later. So that's what the cup looks like right now, but the top piece looks kind of too thick in my opinion. Okay, so this looks pretty good now. So what I'm gonna do actually before I do anything else is I'm going to select this outside part and I'm going to set the origin to geometry just to reset these. That's already good, but you know, just to check. Just want to keep everything right. Okay, so after setting the origin to geometry, now what I've noticed is I don't really like how thick the top piece is compared to the bottom piece. So I'm actually gonna make this top piece a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna select it, then I'm gonna press S and then Z to scale it down. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit, but not to where it starts to come off, right? So like probably like right there looks good. So I think that looks much better. Looks pretty smooth underneath still. Looking good. I mean, it's pretty solid all the way around. I'm gonna rotate this just all around just to see what it looks like everywhere on every side. So I'm pretty satisfied with the way this looks. And I think I'm going to go ahead and keep it that way. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually make the main part of the cup, the main circle metal material. So we're gonna click this and we're actually gonna find it in here under the main circle, circle 8, and we're gonna hide it because we want to make this metal so that way it shows like metal on the inside too. I mean, I'm not really concerned about what's on the inside. I care about like really the main part of how it looks, right? The main goal. Anyways, but just to make it metal, right? So you're gonna come down here and you can select this to hide it, or you can press H to hide it. But just to like make sure that you're actually selecting the right thing, what I would do is just come out and click this and then bring this down and just make sure that you're hiding the right thing. Otherwise, you might accidentally hide the interior of the cup. So I don't know. I just like doing it that way just to be sure. But if you're already sure, then yeah. But anyways, um, I'm just gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna hide this, and then I'm gonna select the main part, the main circle, right? So this is the main part of the cup, and I'm just gonna add the material on it down here, material properties. I'm gonna add the metal material, just because why not? So now when we look inside, we will also notice that it's gonna be metal, right? So in order to see this, I'm gonna turn on the scene world right here. I'm gonna check that off. And you can see that it's like metal on the inside, right? So RR rotated around, you can see that it's metal. And I'm gonna actually, yeah, so anyways, now you can see that. But I'm gonna take this off now. And I'm gonna leave that way. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unhide this so that way it's all complete together, right? So I think that looks pretty good. Like, I think that's a nice looking cup. I think it looks good all the way around. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it like that. And I'm gonna keep it this way. So this should help you with just basics of creating some type of product and um, being able to add on like a logo or whatever else type, whatever other types of labels you wanted to add on, and also be able to just have better skills, more knowledge on how to design a product and all the little skills that you can use now to build whatever product you want to build. It's a pretty good starting point. And it's not really super complicated or anything like that. So there you go. Um, Later on, what you would actually do is you would want to probably start to mess with the lighting, just adjust the lighting. Probably give yourself like a background. So like Shift A, put a plane in here. Um, Put a plane in here, scale it up, and then like zoom out a little bit. Select the plane, tab into edit mode. This, you don't really need this anymore, so we can actually right click on this and then join the areas, and we're just going to join to this side, so that way we can see it in full screen view now. And you don't really need this stuff over here. We can tab into object mode. Let's just get rid of these. We don't really need them. If you want to keep them for later or whatever, then you can. If not, okay, whatever. So just delete if you want to get rid of them. Or what you can do is you could even just press H and hide them for right now and just keep them hidden. Anyways, back to this. Okay, so now that those are hidden, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the plane object, and then I'm going to press S and then X to scale on the X. And I'm probably going to go to like, I don't know, 25. So you could also just type it right here. So I'm just going to type 25 right here. Boom. That looks like it's going to be enough room. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press S and then Y just to see how far I would want it. For this one, 20 is probably good. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to type 20 into the Y right here. An item. So that looks good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press tab and I'm going to select this edge and then this edge and then this edge. And I'm going to press E and then Z and scale it up. Okay. To probably 2. So I'm going to just type 2 in the Z right here. Going to bring it up to 2. Okay, that looks good. So I don't have a camera. Okay, so let's see how this would look. So this is kind of like almost setting up like a scene, right? Like the beginning setting up a scene. So I'm gonna go back and turn this off. And so what you'd probably want to do now, set this up further, is just shift click right here, shift click right here, shift click right here, and then all these edges, and then press Control B and just kind of bevel them up, and then roll your mouse wheel forward to give it a nice smooth bevel. Probably move it up more. So that's probably going to be good right there. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so that's good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press tab and make sure that I have the plane selected, and I'm going to right click and then shade smooth, and I'm also going to reset the origin to geometry for that. So this is like a place where you can set your scene up for whatever background that you want, and you could even do a new material here, make it whatever color, whatever you want here. So if you want it to be like orange or whatever, or you want it to be like gold or like a darker gold, you want it to be like that, and you want it to be like whatever color you really want it to be here. So right there looks really nice. Probably actually make it a little bit lighter though. Or just bring it to like right there. So anyways, this would be like the start of like a scene setup, right? And I'm gonna actually switch to, I'm gonna take this off in the scene world and just kind of check it out. And that, I mean, that's pretty good for not really setting anything up with the lighting. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. But you know, later on, if you want, just add some lights in here, create your own lighting, whatever, well, not that one. With Spot, have like a bunch of lights around area. I'm sure you can find some videos to help you with the lighting. And also with have a camera here and how to move the camera around or objects around animation, but that's beyond the scope of this video. So anyways, that about sums it up. So we're just gonna look at it a little bit more. Take this off, check it out. Boom. Looks good all the way around. I like it. And now we're gonna check it out in render real quick. So I'm gonna come to render properties and I'm gonna change the render engine to cycles. And I just wanna see what it's gonna look like here. I'm not gonna render it out or anything. I'm just trying to show you like a more realistic look of it. Yeah, so it looks nice. I like the way it looks a lot. I like the way that it turned out. So if you followed the video and you enjoyed it, you ended up with something like this, and you really like what it looks like, and you learned some stuff along the way, then like the video, subscribe, and continue to create more models of products. Thank you. Have a good one.